G'day YouTube and welcome back to my channel. So the title says it all. Did I fall off the wagon after 4 weeks of my fitness program and about 6 weeks of attempting to lose weight? And the short answer is yeah, I did. Yesterday I fell completely off the wagon. As you know, I'm supposed to be fasting 5 days a week. That's what I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I exercise on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and I fast Monday to Friday. Yesterday, being a Friday, so I'm recording this on Saturday afternoon, didn't fast. Not only did I not fast, but I drank energy drinks. I had 2 humongous cans of energy drink throughout the day, full of refined sugar, processed garbage, and it doesn't even taste like a natural flavor that you'd get out of anything. That's how you know something's really bad for you and super refined. So yeah, completely blew my macros. I think I ended up being about 100 calories over my 1800 calorie, 100 calories over my 1800 calorie limit. Yeah, program, failed basically. However, I did it for a very specific reason. So, as you might notice, I have new ink on my arm. I spent yesterday sitting in a tattoo chair for an 8-hour session. I'll cut to some better quality video of a close-up of the tattoo, but being the super nerd that I am, it is the Death Star, and I had a blockade runner in front of it that had previously been done. So, when it's all my artist, Zach Tate, you can look him up on Facebook as Zach Tate Tattoo Jerk. He's pretty much done the entire sleeve on the other side. And he works at Wicked Ink in Penrith. So if you're ever in the market for an awesome tattoo from a really high quality artist, I'd free plug to the guy. He's the only guy I'll let tattoo me. So Zach Tate Tattoo Jerk at Wicked Ink in Penrith. Anyway, so I spent 8 hours in the chair yesterday, and I have a process. Obviously, I've had 6 or 7 8-hour sessions in the past. I know what works for me in terms of getting through that because it does cause pain. The first 2, 3, 4 hours are okay. It starts off meh. Well, what, is that all? But by the 5th hour, most of your I believe it's adrenaline, but most of your adrenaline's burned off, and certainly your short-term calorie reserve, so your glucose in your bloodstream, has burnt off. Unless you maintain some good carbohydrates, some instantaneous energy, then it really starts to hurt. Hours 5, 6, and 7. By the 8th hour, you're just ready to go home. It feels like someone's dragging, a hot coal over paper thin skin. It's kind of a scrapey, burny, hurty feel. So it's not pleasant. And for me, my normal process is I'll have breakfast in the morning, as I did yesterday. I had a good quality cereal, and then I smashed an energy can. Leading up to lunch, I had a meat pie for lunch. Again, not a great source of nutrients. And then smashed another energy can in the afternoon. And then I admittedly, I had a small dinner because I wasn't feeling great from all the energy drink. It certainly doesn't help with stomach acid, but, completely off the wagon. So I kind of want to make the focus of today's episode, don't sweat the small stuff. That's really what it comes down to. Life gets in the way sometimes. It's just the reality of it. There's nothing you can do to avoid it. And really, it's how you attack it that is going to make the difference between falling off the wagon permanently and going, oh, screw it, I'm just going to continue eating whatever I like, versus, just accepting that, yeah, it's a day. It didn't go the way that, my program said that it should have, but that's real life. And really, it's about focusing on what you can do about it. So, last week wasn't just Friday, by the way. Where things were a little out of whack. As you know, I usually exercise Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I fast 5 days a week. So last week I had a really early meeting on Monday. I had to take the day off Wednesday to take the dog to the vets to get some surgery in the morning. And so it kind of threw my balance out a little bit. And then obviously I had a tattoo on Friday. So, the whole week was essentially out. So in the end, I exercised on Tuesday, Thursday, and then again this morning on Saturday. So there's my 3 days worth of exercise, just offset one day. And as for fasting, I fasted Monday through to Thursday. I didn't fast yesterday. In the end, I'm going to fast tomorrow, so that'll make up my normal 5 days fast. Even though it's not the end of the world, it's phase 1 of the program. I'm only supposed to be fasting 3 days a week anyway. But I like the way it makes me feel, and I need to get back on track. So, This coming week's another good example. So I occasionally have to travel for work. When I do, I travel quite a bit. So on Wednesday, I've got a red eye express, so I'm going to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning to catch a 6:30 flight, heading off to Brisbane. So I'm based in Sydney. I've got a client lunch, I have a client dinner, I have drinks after that. I'm spending the night in Brisbane, and then I've got another client lunch on Thursday. So, it's going to be really difficult to maintain a fast if I'm ordering water at a restaurant during those two lunches where everyone else is having lunch. It's going to be kind of odd, and I don't want to have to explain that because it's just a distraction for the point of the client lunch. And then dinner and drinks is going to be kind of difficult to avoid too. So you kind of just have to accept that that's the way it is, and what can you do to work around it? The first point is do not stress. The more you stress, the more likely you are to fall off the wagon permanently or give up. That's not on the cards for me at the moment. It's just a case I'm just going to work around it. So, my plan at this stage, phase 2 starts next week, so I should be exercising 4 days a week, and I should be fasting minimum 4 days. So I'll fast and exercise Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, and that'll make up my 4 days. And then I actually ship out again to Melbourne on Sunday for another overnighter. So I'm going to spend the day Monday in Melbourne. I spend Sunday evening in Melbourne. So I'll probably fast on Sunday, have a dinner where it probably won't hit my macros because it's very difficult to control that while I'm traveling, but I'll go to a restaurant. I'll make sure that I make the right choices with dinner. Maybe I'll throw some protein powder in my bag. Who knows? But the point is not to stress. And really the reason is, real life isn't an exact science. When it comes down to something as complicated as our bodies, you might think when you're punching data into your calorie counter that you get the exact macronutrients, and you can track the pretty close to exact on something like an Apple Watch or a fitness tracker of any kind. You can kind of track how much energy you're burning, and the whole point of losing weight is an energy deficit. So food in is less than energy burnt to stay you, and so you should lose weight. But it's not an exact science, and you kind of have to just accept the swings with the roundabouts. So, I've got a really simple example for you, outside of shifting priorities and schedules. So, in my fitness application, I quite often have a banana with protein powder as my last meal if I need to make up some good carbohydrates without adding fat. So I need carbohydrates and protein. I'll throw a banana into a blender with protein shake and end up with a really nice protein shake. So banana, really simple stuff. If I stick this into my calorie tracker or my macro tracker, I'm using Lose It. It'll tell me that it's got 24.8 grams of carbohydrates. It's got 1.2 grams of protein and no fat. Fantastic. Except this is a banana, and that's what it comes up as in the app. It just says banana flesh only raw. And I'm not sure who's eating banana skins, but anyway. But this is also a banana. So if I'm eating this and I'm sticking it in the Lose It app and it's telling me what my macros are for the day, or if I ate this banana and stuck it in the app, it's going to tell me I ate the same thing. So, obviously there are a couple of other entries, and by the way, the database for Lose It's very similar to MyFitnessPal, so it's much of a muchness, which database you use, but, there are a couple of other entries. I think there's a 5.5 to 6.5 inch banana with different macros than 4.5 to 5.5 inch banana, but, the macros are going to be changing banana to banana, let alone the size. So even when you're looking at packaged products where they've got nutritional information on the back, I'm not sure exactly how they go and obtain the exact macros in their products, but, I assume they have it lab tested at some point, or they can derive it from known quantities. However they do it, the point is it's an average. So, the 100 grams of cereal that you're holding in your hand may have slightly different macros than the 100 grams as listed on the box with some average nutritional values. You can't stress too much about the little things. If you're 5% over or under on your macros at the end of the day, you've done a great job. If you have to skip a day of your fasting and exercise program because life got in the way, you kind of just accept it and move on. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's the most important thing, I think. Particularly starting off, you kind of, when a day can derail you because you haven't quite developed a habit yet, it's really important. Anyway, so that was the message for today's video. Just a quick update on my status at the moment. Last video I was at 102.3 kilos. And I've been tracking my weight every day. Now, I was starting off tracking it weekly, and maybe I'll spend some time on another video sometime talking about how often I think you should track your weight. It's just a number at the end of the day. Excuse me. So I actually went up in weight on Monday. So my official weigh-in day is on Mondays. I report back to my to Science Based Six Pack program, let them know how I'm going, and I was at 102.5 kilos. So I gained 200 grams between Sunday when I last did the video, excuse me, and Monday morning. By Thursday morning, I was at 101.6 kilos, so I dropped again, and as of this morning, I was 102. So really, I've lost 300 grams between last video and this video. What is that? 500 grams since Monday. It's now Saturday. So again, not sweating it too much. I lost a heck of a lot of weight the week prior. I'm sure I'll continue to lose weight. I'm not really too worried about it. Again, don't sweat the small stuff. If I can leave you with one message, that would be it. If you like what you see, please like the video, subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, or if you've got any feedback for me. And I'll throw some details for Zack Tate and Wicked Ink in the video description if you want an awesome tattoo. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.